Hi everyone, I'm doing something kind of special today. I'm having an attempt at making a boomerang as close to traditionally as possible, with the exception of using modern tools. Now, I am privileged to have been able to study the real thing up close. And I don't just mean modern examples of traditional boomerangs. I have been lucky enough to get up close to traditional antique boomerangs, some of which dating back hundreds of years. And as an Australian, it's been something I've been wanting to give a go for quite some time. Now, I'm trying to get as close to historically accurate as possible. So if anyone spots something I do wrong, please feel free to leave a comment. Just try not to be mean about it. Right, so what I'm attempting to do today is not a returning boomerang. I am attempting to do a traditional hunting boomerang, which does not have the classic kind of a 90-degree turn in it. It's got one long limb and then a slight turn to it. And well, this piece of wood here isn't perfect, but I could get a really good piece of wood if I was willing to chop up a live tree, but I'd rather not. So I have scavenged a piece from where a road out in the bush is being expanded, and they've knocked down a heap of trees. So I've gone in and I've grabbed a piece of dead wood, which is sort of close to the shape I want. I have been able to observe a video on the traditional making of a number 7 boomerang, which uses the root of a tree. So you dig out the tree and you use where the trunk meets a root to give you that nice curved angle. And I've been able to study the exhibit on making boomerangs at the Brisbane Museum, which uses the trunk of a tree where a branch is coming out. The problem is, neither of those two examples were examples of the same style I'm doing now. The one that was the root is a type of fighting boomerang with a very different shape to it, and the one that was in Brisbane was the iconic 90-degree turn boomerang. This style of boomerang has a much slighter curve to it, the one I'm attempting to do today. Although there's this knot here where it was going to be a fork, but this side had died, so then all of the nutrients has gone to this one, and this has become the actual trunk of the tree. Now, the important thing that those two other boomerangs share is that the grain follows the wood. See, they use the root, instead of just getting a big piece of wood and shaping it into a curved, they use a curved piece of wood so that the grain actually follows the length of the boomerang. And in the several 100-year-old boomerangs that I've been privileged to have a close look at, the grain of the wood in the boomerangs was quite hard to see because they had been sanded quite well, but I could not see any signs of the boomerang's wood grain veering off of the shape of the boomerang, which would lead me to believe that it also had the grain following it. So I've got this piece of wood. It was a branch, it was a fork. This fork on it died early, and so just became a knot, curved, and follows up this way. Now there is some slight twisting to this piece of wood, but I'm hoping that's not going to be too big of a problem. It is a little bit wonky, but I should be able to even it out. Now, this is not a returning boomerang. So the cross section should be kind of like a lemon that's been squished a bit, so that it has a really kind of like a convex shape to it. So it comes down to a convex point. but I'll get into that a bit later. That's one of the reasons why it makes such an effective hunting weapon. Alright, so might as well get into giving this a rough shape. Now, I did bring the tomahawk. I also brought a knife. I'm going to have a go with the knife first, just because I have a bit more control with this, because it's a much smaller tool than with the tomahawk. So, wish me luck.